For 15 years, the collection industry has operated on a simple equation: increase call volume, add more collectors, and recovery will follow. But at a certain point, that equation breaks. Agencies find themselves logging more collector hours and dialing more numbers, only to watch recovery rates flatline and margins shrink. The legacy collection model is built around measuring effort. Success is quantified by calls made, accounts worked, and hours logged. But raw activity masks the real source of revenue leakage. The leakage doesn't happen on the phones. It happens in the gaps between the calls, a metric we call next action delay. When an agency runs on flat queues, the entire operation depends on manual human memory. A collector has to remember to check an account, reattempt a contact, or route a file to a manager. Consider a routine scenario. A debtor says, "I'll pay Friday." Friday passes without payment. Now, someone has to notice the broken promise, locate the account, decide whether to send a reminder or escalate, and ensure compliance. When humans get busy, those specific steps are exactly what slip through the cracks. AI provides the infrastructure to bridge these gaps, acting as a disciplined follow-up engine that runs every promise and reminder with mathematical consistency. Look at the structural difference here. On the left, a traditional flat queue treats every account the same, slowly working through a massive block of data. On the right, an intent-based model instantly reads the data and splinters that block into specialized, fast-moving streams based on variables like balance, time of day, and channel preference. To optimize the unit economics of debt recovery, we are going to populate this grid. We will systematically architect the operational blueprint of a Level 5 AI-first collection agency. This transition shifts the focus from raw activity to a system that guarantees precision routing for every single account in the portfolio. Right-party contact is often treated as a dialing problem. Agencies load up campaigns based on broad queue metrics like placement date or simple credit scores and start dialing. That approach guarantees wasted touches because not every account deserves a phone call today. We solve this by implementing intent-based routing. This matrix maps account balance on the vertical axis against time of day on the horizontal. When we look closely at the data, human intuition often proves inefficient. Dialing accounts under $250 during mid-morning business hours consistently yields low contact rates and burns expensive collector time. Conversely, that same low-balance demographic becomes highly responsive after 6 p.m., specifically when engaged through an SMS channel rather than a phone call. A human manager cannot manually track these variables across tens of thousands of accounts. AI analyzes these demographic, channel, and timing patterns dynamically. Armed with that data, the system automatically holds back specific accounts from the morning call queue, reserving them strictly for their optimal time window. For those highly responsive evening segments, the workflow triggers a text message with a payment link first, completely bypassing the need for a manual dial. Right-party contact improves when outreach design is driven by precise timing and channel data, rather than sheer call volume. Generating that contact often leads to a promise to pay. In many call centers, a PTP is celebrated as a win. But a PTP is not collected money. It is strictly a future intention, a high-risk operational event that requires active management. Leaving a generic note in a CRM that says PTP Friday relies entirely on the collector remembering to check the account the following week. A serious PTP workflow requires a strict 5-parameter data schema. The system must capture the exact amount, the exact date, the payment method, a specific reminder schedule, and a predefined trigger if the promise is broken. Capturing the exact dollar figure, the precise date, and the specific payment method locks the debtor into a tangible, actionable commitment. The 4th parameter, the reminder schedule, ensures the system automatically sends an SMS or email nudge exactly 24 hours before the payment is due. Operationalizing a promise to pay means the platform mathematically schedules and executes every touchpoint before and during the promise date, entirely without human intervention. Agencies missing these 5 parameters are operating without a formal PTP workflow, leaving high-intent revenue to the inconsistency of manual note-taking. Even with reminders, promises break. A broken PTP is the highest intent recovery opportunity because the individual has already engaged and acknowledged the obligation. A broken promise account must never fall back into a general rework queue to be dialed randomly. Instead, it enters a dedicated broken PTP recovery lane, governed by a strict, automated follow-up schedule. The moment the payment date passes, the system initiates a same-day action. It instantly triggers a text message containing a direct payment link to capture the funds. If that fails, the Day 2 action executes. An AI voice agent attempts a follow-up call, designed to capture the context of the missed payment and offer a reschedule date. If the account remains unresolved by Day 3, the system automatically routes the file to a senior human collector for immediate escalation. The most immediate increase in agency revenue stems from mathematically enforcing follow-up on broken promises within the first 24 hours. That immediate follow-up often reveals another major operational gap. High-intent debtors frequently attempt to resolve their accounts when the agency is closed. A debtor might open an SMS at night, click a payment link on a Sunday, or call inbound after their evening shift to ask about their balance. An AI agent operates continuously, capturing this off-hours context. It can instantly provide accurate balances, text a secure payment link, or schedule a human callback for the first thing the next morning. Agencies that intelligently cover the after-hours window capture engagement before the debtor goes cold, securing a distinct recovery advantage. AI serves as a triage layer, identifying low-value tasks and automating them to preserve expensive human capacity for high-complexity negotiations. This brings us to the macro architecture of the AI-first agency. Every incoming account flows into a central triage node, which splits the workload into 3 distinct operational lanes. The top lane is AI only. This pathway processes low-balance accounts and simple payment reminders. By removing the cost of human labor, accounts that were previously ignored because of their small balance become economically workable again. The middle lane is AI first. Here, automation handles the sheer volume of initial contact attempts. It verifies the right party, captures their intent, and then executes a warm transfer to a collector when the debtor is actually ready to speak. The bottom lane is human first. By absorbing the repetitive work in the first 2 lanes, the system preserves your top-tier collectors strictly for complex situations, high-balance escalations, hardship conversations, and nuanced settlement negotiations. Implementing this 3-lane routing architecture allows an agency to exponentially scale its recovery capacity without scaling its headcount in the same proportion. In the modern collections industry, the ultimate competitive advantage is the speed of the next action. Delay kills intent. When an individual requests a callback, misses a scheduled payment, or raises a dispute, the system must trigger the correct routing rule instantly. Executing actions at that speed introduces operational risk. AI mitigates this by managing compliance execution precisely at the interaction level. The platform automatically monitors every touchpoint. It logs whether the correct disclosure was stated, ensures call frequency limits are respected, and instantly flags cease communication requests. This data populates a centralized dashboard, allowing compliance teams to review targeted, risk-based samples rather than relying on random call audits. We have moved from an activity-based model, where performance is throttled by human memory, to a precision-based model governed by intelligent routing. AI will not correct a flawed collection strategy, but it will execute a sound strategy with relentless, mechanical discipline. The next generation of successful collection agencies will not be the ones making the most calls. They will be the ones engineering the fewest wasted touches.